searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
my whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah,
All right, here we go. Back from a holiday weekend and 2 weeks off here for the Sim500 NC811.org Grand National Series. We welcome you into the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway and what is kind of turning into a chaotic night when it's all said and done. But I am the captain, Chris Scala. We welcome you to Darlington. Race number 14 about to kick off here in just minutes. As qualifying underway right now. And I'm not entirely sure why nothing's showing up on the screen. But anyways, getting ready to rock and roll. About a minute or so left in qualifying right now. Excuse me. As they qualify for the 811 No It's Below. Call 811 Before You Dig Pole Award. And right now it looks like Tommy Ryan is on the pole with a 30.44. And the reason, let me go ahead and kind of explain some things here that it's kind of gotten chaotic a little bit here, is because I'm doing two jobs at one time tonight. Is the cup races run a little long because of lightning and stuff like that earlier tonight. So I'm actually news writing while I broadcast. So you're going to see some multitasking and some different things tonight. So I'm just warning you in advance, and I do apologize. But unfortunately, it's just kind of clashed together here when everything is all said and done. So they're going to warm up here. Not going to be able to do any kind of interviews right now because, believe it or not, I actually have the race playing in my ears just so I can keep going with what's going on right now and be able to write an article while this happens. Just the way life goes sometimes, you know, right? So, but I'm committed. We're ready to rock and roll and get this race on here for Sim500 here this evening from the Darlington Raceway. And they should be gridding here in just a moment. I'm not entirely sure why my SDK Gaming is not working. It's the first broadcast, and they've actually done an update on some things here. And I was actually streaming, or not streaming, but setting stuff up just a little bit ago. So I'm not sure why timing and scoring is not working. But like you see, the cars on the track here, they're getting ready to warm up for the, or they are warming up, I should say, for the 120 lap race that's coming up here. In moments. So we got about 6 races left before the playoffs begin. As you know, this is a shortened season over on this side because of Sunday nights. And the NFL season and stuff like that could be coming. There we go. We got it all set up for you. There it is. 79 degrees, 120 laps tonight, as I mentioned, here at Darlington. The traditional weather in play here for this evening's race. Starting lineup going to go across the top of the field. There, as you see, Tommy Ryan, Chad Coleman on the front row. Of course, Tommy winning the pole tonight, which is presented by 811. So make sure you know what's below and call before you dig. Cars are going to roll off here. Let's take a look at the race information tonight. As I said, 14 races out of 20 in the books here this regular season so far for the Sim500 Grand National Series. 120 laps, 3 sets of tires, 100% fuel. And last season's winner here was Daniel Falkingham, as he did a lot of times last season winning races in this series. So cars are on track. As Tommy Ryan, Chad Coleman will lead him down to the green flag. Glenn Campbell, another great qualifying run for him. And Tyler Dalton in the Casey Kane throwback there at the 811 car, going to lead him to the green flag. Round number 14 after 2 weeks off from Darlington. Gets the green flag. Sim500 underway. And of course, our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and on the, of course, iRacing forums. Their website, TrackCams22.com. As one car gets loose, another one heads for the inside wall. Doy Woods, nice save after almost some contact there with the 16, Steve Ritter. Off turn 4, Tommy Ryan going to lead lap 1. Kind of a smaller field. I think a lot of cars are, or a lot of drivers watching the end of this cup race here. But we see underneath, bottom side there, that's Larry Pace, who's a pretty darn good driver that we see ever so seldom here in the 00. He's going to trying to work underneath Tyler Dalton for the 4th position here, and he will make that move. So move Pace up to 4th. You see right behind him, Mike Kelly going to make the move on Kevin DeBrown. That is for the 6th position there. Again, tire wear going to be a big factor when this race is all done with tonight. Ryan out to about a 1/10 of a second lead over Chad Coleman. You see Larry Pace running the fastest laps already here early. But I think it's going to come down to the long run. These guys know how to pace themselves and get themselves in the right spot at the right time. As we ride on board with Larry right now. This track is all about racing the racetrack. See Bob Gillenwater, you see Joey Jatina. Ryan up by 2/10 on Chad Coleman. Glenn Campbell there 4/10 back. Campbell just seems like lately he's gotten better and better and better. And you see already he's got a Darlington stripe, so he's got that out of the way. But he is definitely one that's been on the stock upside, if you will. As Joey Jatina makes a pass back there. That is Jeff Ryan in the 3. You lose. Oh, and he gets door banged by Eric Arnold into the corner. But that's 3. And now there's Thomas Lewandowski in the 20. There's Anthony Calantino. Calantoni. Can you tell it's been a couple weeks? Calantino. I'm sorry, Anthony. Pack running pretty close together here. Pace looking underneath Campbell. One thing about this track, turn 3 and 4, you can run almost any lane from bottom to top. Turn 1 and 2, it's almost a single groove track. But when it comes to turn 3 and 4, you can enter that corner down at the bottom. You can slide it up to the wall. There's so many different things that you can do at a track like this. But this car, it's one of those, you get damage on it, and you're almost in bad shape, so you got to worry about Campbell here with that right side damage, but it doesn't look like he's affecting him too much there. But if you get the front end of this car, it could be trouble, unlike that the next gen car, or whatever you want to call it, Gen 7 car that they raced a couple weeks ago here. Let's look back here. Pedro Mojica, points leader in this series. As he works his way up, Pedro started 21st. He's up to 18th now as he makes the pass on Jeff Ryan. Doy Woods back there, 17 to Kevin Stone. Has already 11 laps in the books now. This track is always tricky when it comes to fuel mileage. I can usually sit here and say, okay, it should be somewhere between this many laps and that many laps to get to the green flag pit stops or whatnot. Here it's more about tires and maybe a little bit of fuel, but I could see about 50 to 60 laps, somewhere in that range would be my guess, that you're going to see cars obviously more the lap 60 mark to get to a one-stop race. Otherwise, you could see people try a two-tire strategy, which would not surprise me. We run with Tyler Dalton here in the 19. See Larry Pace has gone by Campbell for 3rd. Everybody running their different lanes. Tommy doing a good job just being conservative up there. And one thing about Tommy is he has gotten really good at the worn out tracks. I mean, you think to Iowa, you think to Rockingham, Tommy Ryan has definitely shown what kind of skills he has on a worn out surface like this. 7/10 of a second right now, the lead, as Tommy's kind of drawn away from the battle for second. There's Scott Simley back there, Donnie Leah, Kevin DeBrown, Mike Montesi. As we're 15 laps in here at Darlington, the Sim500 NC811.org Grand National Series here. Appreciate everybody watching tonight, especially those from NC811, who, of course, join us each and every week. We're on the Facebook page for Sim500. We're on the Facebook page for the Captain Esports Network. And, of course, the YouTube page that you're mostly watching on. If you watch the 29, that's Donnie Leah there. Let's see if Simley lets him go, and he does. Donnie slides up and makes the pass. It's funny, when the Cup car ran here, we all talked after the race, and I talked to Donnie a little bit, and the one thing that struck my mind in that race is we watched the battle for second. Here comes Larry. Is how Donnie just never came up to speed, it seemed like. I mean, and Chad gets up there in the wall. But in the race, it seemed like a race that a modified driver like Donnie would be probably good at because of the way the tire wear is and tire conservation. He struggled. And he said, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what was going on tonight. And look at here, Donnie making a move back to the bottom on Kevin. See, not able to make the move there. You try to run this race with 100 laps of clean laps, and then you get those last 20 laps, see what you got, see what you can battle. If you're in a battle for the lead, you go get it. If you're in a battle for 10th, that's what you got. Do not overdrive this car, because the wall will bite you. As you see almost every lap, somebody's hitting the wall. Everybody fairly single file, not really any battles until I say this. There's Pedro Mojica looking underneath Steve Ritter. It's a battle for the 14th position. And Mojica continues his charge of 7 spots here from the start. Tommy doing a great job. He and Larry kind of, no pun intended, pacing the race here so far. Campbell about 2.5 back. Dalton and Chad Coleman, who's fallen back to 5th now after getting that contact with the wall just a minute ago on the front straightaway. And obviously, as you hear these pauses, that's me typing and stuff. You see Mohican now putting pressure up here on Joey Jettina. Mike Montesi there with him. And up here, oh, contact Kelly and Dalton. That almost got ugly. I saw Kelly all kinds of sideways just now. Should mention EJ O'Rourke has come to pit road. He has joined Doug Sigmund behind the wall early in this race. And Kelly's going to make the pass. You see the rear end damage on the 2 there. And that was after Coleman made the pass for the 4th position. Let's see if we can catch what happened here in the turn 1. Dalton was just checking up to let Coleman go, and Kelly just got in the back of him. And you see Donnie Lee got in the back of Kelly and put the damage on him. That's just a tough spot there where Dalton's trying to be clean and let these drivers move on and race the track. But unfortunately, the momentum was lost there, and Tyler back I ran over. Now looks like Anthony Calantoni on pit road. Ron Holyfield with some issues. And he has got a destroyed front end. Caution's not out. But Holyfield has destroyed the front end of this car. What happened here? Oh, I see Calantoni up here in the 84. Oh! That's a Darlington wreck right there. And Casey Duncan, nowhere to go, gets in the back of Holyfield. No caution for it. Wow. Well, it looks like Calantoni got in the wall and got into Kevin Stone. But once again, no caution. We stay green. As we're 29 laps in, you see it's pretty much a two-man show here early. As Tommy Ryan, Larry Pace have kind of driven away from the field. The car we've been watching obviously come up through the field here is the traditional Pedro Mojica, who has just gotten the 11th spot from Scott Semley, now coming up on Bob Gillenwater. And then meanwhile, you got this battle of cars right here going on. So already 3 cars behind the wall. Ron Holyfield heavily damaged after that wreck. You see Justin Fuller back here up to the 9th position. Justin started back in the 22nd position. And these guys just falling back here. You see Donnie Leah's now moved up to 4th. He just got around Mike Kelly for position. So Leah having a lot better run than he had in the Cup race 2 weeks ago. Of course, taking a holiday weekend off. And for the Grand National Series, actually took 2 weeks off because of the weekend of Memorial Day. And then, of course, we had the All-Star race for NASCAR was on a Sunday night. So they took a couple weeks off. So when you look at the schedule, we're on schedule for everything, but we're kind of behind a week when it comes to matching tracks up with each other. So, like, tomorrow night we'll be at Charlotte, which they've already done Charlotte, actually. Or, no, I'm sorry, next week's Charlotte for the Grand National Series. Bob Gillenwater underneath Justin Fuller here. It's a battle for the 10th position. We're outside the top 10. Oh, that got close. Mojica almost getting loose. One car spinning. That's Tyler Dalton. And Dalton keeps it off the wall. No caution. Tyler just pretty much locked it down. Watch this again. Can Tyler get a little help? Oh, Pedro's on the back of him. And Tyler just locks it down, kisses the inside wall slightly, but is able to carry on. So Tommy Ryan leads. Larry Pace, Chad Coleman is now bounced back up to third. So they're trying to decide who really wants to run third right now, apparently. Coleman, Leah, Kelly, your top five. Just about a third distance in here. Again, kind of curious what the strategy is going to be here, because I think you're going to see a lot of drivers go for the one stopper, get to lap 60, which is possible if you are saving your tires. As Mojica gets around, or I should say holds off Gillenwater right now. Pedro up to the 8th spot. Glenn Campbell's starting to fall back a little bit. Biggest movers so far is Mojica's been up 13. You got Fuller up 11. 24 cars right now on the lead lap in this race. And Mojica getting to the inside of his, it's not really his teammate, but his sponsor teammate, if you will, Glenn Campbell, for position. Thomas Lewandowski going to be the first one on pit road here. Not sure if this is for tires or not. We'll have to see. Lewandowski locks it down, gets on pit road, right side tires going on. And I think this is a scheduled pit stop. The way he approached that, his pit stall there, locked it down, got it in pit road, and there he goes. See a little bit of damage on the right side of his car, but 4 tires and fuel, and he pulls away. So there's the first car to make a pit stop. Garrett Austin on pit road in a 34 car. Eric Arnold going to come to pit road. As here comes Pedro inside of his teammate, Kevin DeBrown. Team name battle for 5th. Sorry, make that 6. I'm a spot behind. And Pedro going to make the pass. Now, the one thing we should remember, Pedro won the Darlington race last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say now. And when Pedro won that race, one thing he did is run that bottom an awful lot. And he did it to save tires. And you see him make that pass there. You see Arnold stop 16.8 as he pulls away. A couple cars scatter around. As you see now, Mike Kelly under attack from Pedro. Pedro going to rotate that bottom line. Almost Bob Ross in the bottom, if you will. And Kelly's going to let him go for position. Tyler Dalton on pit road. Tyler started up near the front, had some issues, had to contact with the 58. And that has kind of caused him a little bit of issues. Right side tires going on. You see the damage on the 19 already. So I wonder if the tire wear is kind of making this issue happen, or if this is one of those Tyler trying to do something different. Check up here, battle Kevin DeBrown, Mike Kelly, Bob Gillenwater. This is the 6th, 7th, and 8th position. Mojica's is getting faster. He just went by Coleman for 4th. Problem is he's 8 seconds back from Tommy Ryan, so he might have to do something a little bit different here. To maybe catch up. Especially if this race were to see if Leah can hold off Mojica here for the 3rd spot. 47 laps in already. Montesi on pit road. Jeff Ryan. And there goes Pedro Donnie letting him go. So move Pedro up to 3rd. One thing that Tommy's done a great job of is not only maintaining the lead, he has actually driven away 2.1 seconds on Larry Pace now. Another car we should watch back here. Joey Jatina under attack from Scott Simley. He's going to lose a spot there, and let's see if Doy Woods can get by him. He sure will. That's Garrett Austin on the fresher tires there, but he's being patient, letting these guys race. He could easily have gone right by the 14 there and chose not to. So 50 laps now in the books. I think we're at a pace now to where these guys are going to go ahead and probably try to make this a one-stop race. I see Chad Coleman backing off. I think the first of the leaders is going to come to pit road here. So I was wrong. He's going to come at lap 50. So let's see if this brings the leaders to pit road. Joey Jatina's in. Right side tires going on to 38. 4 tires in fuel here for Coleman. He's going to try to steal some track position here, potentially. There he goes. Good stop, 15.6, 15.7 for Joey. And I think we're going to see Kevin DeBrown come to pit road. Kevin DeBrown running up there in the top 10, bringing his 93 on to pit road. Four tires of fuel and they pull away. All right, one car just got the wall back there. Everybody's scattering, trying to see who the car. It might have been Garrett Austin. It might not be necessarily in the wall as much as maybe just off the pace, unfortunately, there. But everybody going to get around him clean. You see Lewandowski there with the 4 fuel goods. So 5 more laps for these guys. They got to run. They're either having fun right now or they're like, man, I need off these tires now. They do have 3 sets to work with, but obviously the fastest way to do this is to one stop it to the finish of this race. Glenn Campbell going to come to pit road. Doy Woods going to try to get to pit road. He locks it down, gets in. So more pit stops, lap 55. Long pit road here at Darlington. Easily can lose a lap, if not 2. Right side tires going on to 44. Maybe getting some of that damage fixed real quick while it can. You know, 14.9 for Campbell, 15 flat for Doy Woods. And Garrett Austin back on pit road in the 19. Larry Pace on pit road, so second place is in. Will this bring Tommy to pit road? I would say Tommy's got about a lap or so to come to pit road or he's going to lose the lead. Is he willing to risk the tires to do this, though? Tires and fuel for Larry, and he's going to pull away. Good stop here, 14.8. So still got a pretty good amount, at least 12 drivers. Yet to pit. And sorry, there's a caution in the cup race with 5 laps to go. So here we go with the multitasking part. You see Pace going by with the fresh tires here. Mike Kelly on pit road. So Kelly on pit road and off. Mojica, Branch, Ritter on pit road. Larry Pace running the fastest laps on the track just now as Kevin DeBrown got off pit road as mentioned earlier. Pedro Mojica and those guys. 15.5 for Mojica for those wondering. Calantoni goes to the bottom there. Not sure what happened to him. All right, here comes Tommy Ryan to pit road. Lap 62. Trying to buy himself some laps just in case. Tommy 14.9, Brian Wortman on pit road. And Ron Holyfield in, but Ron unfortunately off the pace with that heavy nose damage he had just a minute ago after that wreck. So as this all cycles around, we got two cars that are yet to pit. One is right there, the 29 Adani Leah, and the other one's kind of not a surprise. Oh, and Leah goes spinning. That was a four-wheel drift on her to get to pit road. That's a unique way of doing it. But Scott Simley is the other car, and here he comes to pit road, lap 64. So that just tells me that, yes, you can go all the way on a one-stop strategy as Calantoni comes to pit road. And this is going to really cycle around the field here, so we're going to try to catch you up as much as we can with who's where in this race. Again, appreciate the viewers watching here this evening as Simley overshoots his pit stall here. Of course, if you're new to the channel, you can hit that subscribe button as we get back into racing form after a week off for the holiday. All right, so as everything cycles around, Justin Fuller, now the leader, pitted at lap 47. Chad Coleman, Larry Pace, Kevin DeBrown, Eric Arnold is your top five. Tommy Ryan is sixth. Lewandowski jumped up to seventh with his early pit stop at lap 38. Tyler Dalton, Joey Jatina, and Pedro Mojica, your top 10. You're going to get a lot of passing here with the fresh tires. I think when it's all said and done, you're going to see Larry Pace leading this race. That was not a rhyme on purpose. It's just the way it came out. All right, so since pit stops are cycled through, let's step away for a quick second. Let's hear from our sponsors, 811, as you're watching the Sim500 Grand National Series on the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
As we come back here to Darlington, new leader Larry Pace just past Justin Fuller with the fresher tires, and he takes the lead here with just over 50 laps to go in this 120-lap race, the Sim500 NC811 Grand National Series. Big shout out to those guys. Of course, make sure you do call before you dig. You see Scott Simley, he's got those fresh tires. Unfortunately, now is a lap down. Chad Coleman third. Kevin DeBrown. Tommy Ryan now has moved up to the 5th position. Let's go back here. Eric Arnold under attack as there's Mojica. That right there is 20 lap pressure tires as Mojica makes the pass. Tomorrow night, want to invite you as we are going to have a special airing of a race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is the Cup Series from Sim500 in the NC811 Cup Series. But tomorrow night we're going to be doing some work basically tomorrow night, and we got a young man that we're going to be focusing on tomorrow night. I don't want to I'm going to tease it without bringing in the spoiler and stuff, but we want you to come join us tomorrow night. A very special event as Justin Fuller off the pace here on the inside. Not sure if he went for a spin and saved it or what, but great save as he'll fall back to 5th. But a special event tomorrow night from Charlotte. We want you to come join us for. Me and Kevin will be in the booth at 8:15 Eastern Time. Matter of fact, I'll throw it up here on the screen. The Never Quit 240. We'll have all the information and stuff for you tomorrow night here. Except we'll go up the road to Charlotte Motor Speedway for that race. Mojica up to 6 as he comes up to Justin Fuller for 5th. Trying to keep track of who is taking advantage of the tires. Kevin Stone has gone around. And he's on pit road, so we'll keep focused here. As Bob Gillenwater inside of Tyler Dalton. Dory Woods also making moves inside of Lewandowski, so passes happening everywhere with tire strategies and stuff. Larry Pace leading this race. So what we're going to do here for a second, because the Cup race is ending and I got to do something here really quickly. I'm going to put this thing into wide open mode. We're going to turn it up on the Captain Esports Network here and let you enjoy the sounds of the Captain Esports Network and Sim500. Larry Pace still leading by 3 seconds here. As we continue to multitask here. 39 laps to go. Tommy Ryan now 3 seconds back. Pedro Mojica in third. So, I can take that out of my ear now. Mojica up to third. Chad Coleman, Kevin DeBrown fifth. As we have 39 laps to go now. Make that 38 to go. Here at Darlington, the question is Tommy quick enough to get to Larry on the long run? Larry definitely fell off a little bit, so we'll have to see how that all transpires. All right, back we are. Apologies for the silence there. It's just, unfortunately, the Cup race just ended, and I'm the news guy tonight, and with the delays and stuff, it's kind of pushed both the jobs back together here, so I do apologize for the inconvenience and stuff. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've been watching so far. Is Pedro Mojica about 8.9 seconds back, as Larry Pace leads by 2 seconds. All of a sudden, Tommy Ryan having some issues. Not sure if he had a rough lap or something there. I get things to work up in here. There's Tommy. Running into second position. Larry Pace, though, leading right now by 2.1 seconds. With less than 30 laps to go now, down to 28. But Tommy had the lead down, or the battle down to about 1.8 seconds, but got caught up in some lap traffic there, and looks like unless Pedro can make up some major time here, going to be a two-man race here for the finish. But so far, caution free in this race, been very impressive. I know a couple times we probably could have had a caution, but it did not wave, and because of that, we're seeing 7 cars left on the lead lap. Bob Gillenwater right now in the 4th position. Mike Kelly there in 5th. Of course, Donnie Leah 6th. Scott Simley, Jason Branch having a great run in the 8th position. Doy Woods and Steve Ritter right now. Your top 10 is... Now it looks like Larry's starting to extend the lead in this race. So, interesting to see how this all transpires in the end. Tommy's brother there behind him, Jeff Ryan. And as you see now, the lead back down to 2 seconds, so maybe Tommy's just kind of collecting himself there. Cooling the tires down, but obviously still plenty of time for things to happen here at a track like Darlington. Let's actually do something. We don't usually get a chance to do this, so let's do it here. You see lap times up there on the side of the timing and scoring. 32:52 last time for Larry Pace and a 32:38 for Tommy Ryan. Let's see what it looks like this time by. Pace 32:40, got a little quicker. 34 for Tommy Ryan. Mojica will cross the line here in just a second. 44. So yeah, the leader is pretty much on top of another right now. So Larry just does not need to make a major mistake, and we could see him going to victory lane here tonight. Looks like the time's holding pretty steady right now as they... You see Scott Simley up ahead there. Last car in the lead lap. Jason Branch right behind him there is the first car a lap down. .9. See what other kind of battles we have. As we keep an eye on things, we get closer and closer to finish. Everybody's pretty much spread out as I'm looking over here timing and scoring with this green flag pace. But so far, as we come up on lap 100 right now, very impressed. And this is why I always say this is one of the best leagues you'll find on iRacing, is because not many series you'll know they'll go 100 laps caution free at Darlington like this at the beginning of a race. Usually got to clear out half the field before you get into a race like this, and they've so far put on a fantastic show. Larry Pace, who, if you've never watched him, I believe he's got 3 championships, unless something is updated. He has got 3 championships in the ARCA series in official races. So this guy knows how to wheel a car. And I know this isn't exactly the ARCA car, but it is one that Larry has obviously adapted to very well and runs in very well. But 2-second lead right now with 20 laps to go. Donnie Leah looking underneath Mike Kelly. This is the 5th place battle. Probably the closest battle you'll see right now on the track. Leah's going to slide by in that Monster Energy number 29, the Supra, and take the 5th position away. He's got about 7 seconds to get to Bob Gillenwater right now, who is 17 seconds back from the leader. So 17 laps to go as Pace still leads by 1.8 seconds now. Mohica 9 seconds back. Well, Tommy's slowly gaining on him, but at this pace it will not be enough. You see Jeff Ryan backs off, lets Montesi go by. As for, that's actually a pass for 17th right there as Montesi goes by on the fresher tires. So 2.1 seconds pace now over Tommy. You saw Tommy get passed by Montesi, so that pretty much is going to leave this race in the hands of Larry Pace, who looks like is going to use strategy. Larry pitted at lap 57, which was 5 laps earlier, and I made the comment just a bit ago as those pit stops were going on. The one thing you do not want to do in this race is wait too long, and then all of a sudden you get to a point where you can't catch Larry. So Larry probably got out there, was able to save his tires. Tommy had to burn them up a little bit, and now Tommy unfortunately is in a spot where he's going to need a miracle to be able to run with Larry. And you see Montesi, who just got around Tommy Ryan himself for position, now catching the leader. And let's see what Mike does here if Larry tries to race him at all. If I'm Larry, I just let him go. He's not anything to battle right now. As a matter of fact, and now Larry keeps going at his own pace. No pun intended again. It's very hard to not do puns when you have a last name like Pace. Larry lets him go there. How about this battle here? It's, for the 12th position as Doy Woods tries to get around Glenn Campbell in the 44 car. Now Woods all of a sudden falls off the pace. He lets, I think, Gillenwater go by, and now he's going to fall into the hands of Eric Arnold for position as Calantoni comes to pit road. Also, Thomas Lewandowski taking his car behind the wall, so did Justin Fuller. Those were at laps 78, 79, and respectively. And, of course, Calantoni just coming to pit road here. He's multiple laps down himself as Chad Coleman comes by and he'll unlap himself. As we come to 10 laps to go. Again, tomorrow night, the Never Quit 240 from Charlotte's the longest race of the Sim500 season, and that's in any of their series. There is no series that runs on the Sim500 side 240 miles in a race. Matter of fact, the longest one I know of is somewhere between 180 to 200 outside of that race. So, as a matter of fact, it is 200 as I think about it, because I know a couple of races 134 laps on mile-and-a-half tracks. So the longest race tomorrow night, 240 miles at Charlotte. We'll see you at 8:15 Eastern Time. Hopefully you can come and join us. As we get back on our schedule for Sim500 racing here on the Captain Esports Network. Of course, Wednesday night we'll be racing in Sim500 in the Trans-Service Truck Series. Last week, unfortunately, didn't get the race. There were a little miscommunication, but things happen like that, and we'll be at Vegas coming up Wednesday night. Looking forward to the fun there. And Larry coming up on the back of Simley here, so this could be interesting to see if Larry just backs off, because here's Tommy down to 1.5 seconds now. Down to 1.3, so it's getting closer. Down to 1.2 as we ride on board with Larry. 5 laps to go this time.
Maximum volume.
What in the world? I've noticed the audio has changed now all of a sudden. Apologies for that. Gonna fix that error real quickly. There you go. Hit a button accidentally. So can Larry hold him off here as Tommy's slowly gaining on him here. 1.28 seconds. You see him. One car splitting him now. As we come to 3 laps to go, these cars slipping and sliding. The problem for Simley is those cars behind Tommy Ryan. That's for position. You got Kevin DeBrown and Mike Kelly right there behind him. So Scott's got to kind of stay in this somehow. As Tommy gets it down to 1 second here, this is a tough sitch if you're Scott Simley. As Larry going to bring it off turn 4. It's under a second. Can Tommy get to him? White flag. That's still at 1 second here. Tommy needs a big turn 3 and 4. Does he try a video game move here or something? Not that we're on a video game. It's been a season that's been dominated by Pedro Mojica winning 50% of the races, but the other impressive stat is Larry Pace is about to become the 7th different winner as Larry Pace uses pit strategy to win at Darlington, holding off Tommy Ryan. Pedro Mojica gonna end up 3rd, and I'm sure he's gonna be pretty mad at pit strategy there, or not pit strategy, but his starting position as this race goes caution free all the way start to finish. That's not impressive, is it? Pace gets a little celebratory bump from Mohican. I think we're going to see an old school celebration here from Larry. No burnouts. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if you turn left, there's victory lane. It's crazy that this race started at 8:30 and it about beat the cup race. How crazy does that part sound? We'll let the ticker go across the top of the screen and show you who finished where in the race this evening. Larry Pace, Tommy Ryan, Pedro Mojica, Bob Gillenwater, good top 5, and Donnie Leah also getting a good top 5. Jimmy Coleman, Kevin DeBrown, Scott Simley, Mike Kelly, Glenn Campbell end up your top 10 finishers. Well, the good news is now I can actually bring in the drivers. And let's talk to our top 3 from tonight's race. And let's start with Pedro Mojica in this number 58 car. Pedro, of course, been the guy who's been dominating the points throughout the season, getting 7 wins tonight. Pedro, unfortunately, it looks like starting position kind of hurt you a little bit there. What happened in qualifying that made you start so far back?
That was by choice. I decided to start in the back. It's kind of, I'm trying to start a little bit ahead towards the end of the season. I think the one big thing that I notice a lot with a lot of the top racers in iRacing is, you know, their ability to start in the back and get to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's definitely something I want to work on and get better at, just to kind of help hone in the racecraft a little more, and you know, you get in certain situations that maybe you wouldn't be in if you're always out front. So yeah, I figured I'd give that a shot, especially at Darlington. Usually isn't one of my best tracks, and I mean, we were able to go from whatever 21st all the way up to 3rd, I think, before the stops, and then it just kind of hovered there. As you said, just because of starting in the back and not getting any yellows to catch back up, like I was just too far from Larry and Tommy to really do anything.
Well, you did a great job, obviously, just kind of pacing yourself and working your way up there. You got within, what was it, about 8 seconds of the lead before you made your pit stop there, and I mean, yeah, it's Sim500, so it's expected. But to a point, it's surprising that you don't have a caution in this race.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think we're all a little surprised because it's Darlington,
Right.
and the way the setup was, like, it's real easy to loop it. The car felt like it was on top of the track, so it was just, you know, real easy to get in the wall. And we had a lot of near wrecks or near yellows, but it just, I think any issues that did happen, it happened on off the racing surface. So yeah, I mean, props to everybody at Sim500. That's pretty impressive. With this car, is probably one of the hardest oval cars to drive on the sim right now, and at one of the hardest tracks. The track temps skyrocketed. You know, it's high, and tires lose grip quickly. So that's I mean, a call out to everybody at Sim500 for keeping it together and going green the whole race.
Well, obviously going to be another good points night for you, as I see Chad Coleman finished down at 6, so you're going to gain a little bit of points here as we start going now into the stretch of the season. Only 6 races left in the regular season before we get to the playoffs. Any kind of, outside of wins, any kind of goals you got here for these next couple of races before you get to the playoffs?
I mean, just try to keep winning, but then also, like I said, like tonight, kind of, got a lot of wins there, so try something there, starting in the back, and just put myself in different racing situations just to kind of, get that experience, and then hopefully get in the playoffs, we'll be all tuned up, and no matter whatever pops up, we'll be able to handle it.
Well, great job. It looks like you extend your point lead to 83 after it's all said and done here. Actually over Bob Gillenwater now, who's, he was second in points entering, so he's now second still going into next week's race. So congratulations. Send some shouts, whoever you like to.
Yeah, no, Chris, appreciate you, Captain Esports, for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate Glenn Campbell and Transverse for jumping on board this year, giving me this opportunity. And Tyler for painting the car for the Sunday series. NC811, appreciate them and everything they do for this series and all the series that they support at Sim500. All the admins, appreciate them and everything they do. All the guys on Team Name had a couple extra guests tonight, so it was entertaining. We had fun, so it's always fun to just have a couple new guys in there just to keep it light. So appreciate them, and appreciate the family for letting me come down and hang out for a little bit and play. And then congrats to Larry. Larry's a good racer, man. So it's good to see him do well, and it's always fun racing him. So congrats to him.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Charlotte.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, buddy. Pedro Mejica finishing P3 here tonight. And as you said, he was trying something a little different. Nothing wrong with that. And when you're somebody who's won 7 races and have shown that you're probably the best driver in this series now, well, you can try things like that. As Tommy Ryan joins us. Tommy, I know you're probably disappointed finishing second tonight, and I think you're probably going back to that pit stop. And those 5 laps of a difference that Larry made on you. Is that the difference?
Yeah, it must have been. And I was very confident about staying out a few more laps than him. And, because I typically see tires come alive and, 5 laps seems like 50 sometimes. Mm-hmm. The lead was diminishing. And as I got to him and I got about 2 seconds, it just stopped. And then I was fighting with lap traffic, guys on different tire strategies, and they weren't showing the leaders any respect at all for the most parts. But I mean, I get it; they got to go, but there's a time and a place when to go, so you don't screw yourself and screw your, the leaders as you're trying to go. But I won't dwell on that too much. It's just typical stuff you see in here from time to time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the pit stop was just, not in the strategy, and Larry did well. He got probably some brakes on the lap traffic better than I did. I got within about a second of him there at the end, but just not enough to get there. Just frustrating, man.
Understood.
You saw it.
Yeah, no, understood. But this continues that streak. You've been just kind of, even though we've had this couple weeks off, you've shown, especially on these worn out surfaces, that you're a car that's easily one to beat at a track like this, or Iowa, or Rockingham. What is it about the surfaces that puts this in your hands? Is it because it's a driver's track?
I think so, man. When you get in some of these high grip situations, everybody's a hero, and it's like driving a slot car.
Right.
Anybody can do that. These things are just fun. Darlington is probably one of my favorite places to race here. I love going to the track in real life, and just you can pick up all kinds of stuff just watching it live.
Right.
So I'm just like, but anyway, yeah, it's a driver's track. It takes a lot of focus, and you find that edge and you just ride it and you don't overstep it. If you do, you're gonna smack the wall. And I've definitely done that here.
I think we all have.
But the stove's hot. Don't touch it because it will burn you. So you just you just live by those rules on this kind of racetrack.
Mhm.
It's all good. But yeah, I mean, I had a blast. I'm worn out. But yeah, congrats to Larry. He played it better than I did, and that's why he's the winner. And I'm talking to you in second.
Well, and I think at the same time, it's a compliment, as I said to Pedro a second ago. You guys going 120 laps caution free in a B car is not the easiest job to do here.
No, and I mean, I don't mean to talk junk about drivers in Sim500. Find me another. I've said this 100 times to other people. Find a better league, and I'll be there. It's a core group of guys. We know each other. We know each other's driving styles. You know what they're typically going to do in certain situations. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship family event every night.
You're exactly right, and I second that remark actually that you said, and I've said it plenty of times on the stream myself. So, but hey, man, great job! Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yep. Northern Tool and Equipment. We got a lot of sales going on right now. Spring has sprung, so make sure you go to northerntool.com and get everything you need before you go digging in your yard, and especially before you start digging in your yard, you need to call 811 so you don't electrocute yourself or blow up anything, hitting the gas line and all that good stuff. So you guys be careful out there, and I'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely, man. Great job tonight, and we will talk tomorrow night at Charlotte, maybe.
Right on. I'll be there.
All right, buddy. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That is Tommy Ryan, who finishes in the second position. Congratulations to him on that. I know, obviously, a little disappointment, and he put his best effort in, but unfortunately tonight he got outbeat my strategy a little bit as Larry Pace goes to victory lane tonight. Larry, congratulations. Welcome into the series again, as I know you get a chance to race whenever you can, but Darlington, one of those tracks you had to be patient. You were one that kind of fell off pace. I have to say no pun intended because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to be funny here. But pit strategy, pitted 5 laps before Tommy, and that got you the lead. Was that your opportunity at that point to save tires so that you could kind of even yourself out with Tommy?
Yeah, I knew I had to try something because I had scorched my tires just driving up to second, and Tommy was leaving me. And if I stayed at another 5 laps, I was going to lose another 2 seconds, it felt like. So I got my ass off the track as soon as I could, got fresh tires. And then with Darlington, it's really just comes down to like praying that you come out in clean air and you can rip laps when you're on fresh tires. And then the variable of lap cars as he closes the gap. And that is what it came down to. I just kind of managed the gap, and the tire fall off is nonlinear, so at some point it just kind of evens out, and then I was just trying to underdrive as much as I could, and then the auto fuel actually short fueled me a little bit, so I ended up having to clutch it a little bit at the end and ran out of fuel off of 4, so just barely got this one, but definitely excited about it. Really cool that it went green.
So are you going into your INI file as soon as you walk out of here?
What do I do in there?
That's where you shut off the auto fuel. So I learned that a couple weeks ago, by the way.
I trusted it tonight. I was like, yeah, just give me the least amount as possible. I want to be a little freer or a little tighter on the long run. Like, just give me what I need, and it shorted me like 2 laps. So, yeah, we'll definitely. And I got to thank Thomas Lewandowski. He was in that race and doing the math for me on how much I had to save. So, that was a huge relief.
Well, I guess it helps you slow your pace down too, tire-wise, by doing something like that. But how hard is it to do that? Because on a worn-out surface like this, to back off your pace, you're almost changing up your rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. It changes your, pivot point, as I would call it, in the center of the corner, especially 1 and 2 when you have to get on the gas to get it to rotate up to the wall, and like you can underdrive and fence yourself because you missed it, and it's treacherous. So it was a little difficult. Kept me on my toes that entire last run. I'm pretty worried from that one. It was pretty challenging, and Tommy was super fast tonight, and Pedro I think was even faster than me too. So I was really trying to be as perfect as I could be, and got lucky with lap cars too. So,
well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, 7th winner of the season here in the Grand National Series. Send some shout-outs whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, so big thanks to Swag Designs, swag_designs on Twitter. Been supporting me since Midnight Thunder a few seasons back. They've been supporting me in Officials, Road to Pro, and wherever else I run. Swag Designs has been an awesome partner for me over the last few seasons, so massive thank you to Swag Designs. Thank you to Sim500, of course, for putting on all these shows. Thomas Lewandowski, who I mentioned, doing the fuel math for me as he's driving around his broken car. So that was a huge help too. And yeah, everybody at the drill aisle, and you as well, Chris. Thank you. I'm glad to finally win on Captain Esports.
Hey, yeah, appreciate it, man, and good to see you here and getting yourself a win. So congratulations, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, and take care.
You too, buddy. Larry Pace, the winner tonight here at the Darlington Raceway, virtually on iRacing. Congratulations to him on getting the win in the 00 in a race that's all 00 amount of cautions. Yep, that would be 0, in case you haven't figured that out. But a fantastic race here at Darlington. Congratulations to the whole entire league. I know there were a couple wrecks out there that could have easily been cautions, but we survived and didn't have one. Had some pit strategy come into play, and as you heard from Larry, had a little bit of drama and almost even running out of fuel. So big thanks to NC811 for sponsoring the league, of course, not only the Grand National Series, but the Cup Series that you can see each and every Sunday and Monday night here on the Captain Esports Network. And again, thanks for everybody for working with me tonight through the double tasking I had to do. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream throughout. I know the racing was fantastic, and so on and so forth. Thanks, Joey Jatina. And obviously, glad to be back on the track. So looking forward to tomorrow night. Kevin and I in the booth. We want you to join us. We don't care if you run in the league or if not. We want you to come show your support. Tomorrow night is the Never Quit 240 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a traditional race that the series runs, and this season we are going to be taking care of an individual. And basically, when this is all said and done, of course, we're going to be thinking about those that we've lost with cancer and stuff like that. And just looking for one specific thing here really quickly as, we hope you join us tomorrow night for the Never Quit 240. Hashtag Never Quit 240. 8:15 Eastern Time on the Captain Esports Network. Kevin England will join me in the booth. So appreciate everybody watching us here this evening. We're going to head out, and always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.